If you're wondering, yes, I'm still alive. Are you ready for this next podcast of Digest This?
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello, and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz, and I've got Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're back.
We are back. We are back. Yes, we are. And if you are a first-time listener, welcome. And we love that you've joined us. Please continue to join us. We do have a library of over 300 podcasts, right?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
I'm telling the truth, yeah. Over 300 podcasts. And if you are a regular listener, thank you for hanging in there with us. We have been on a sabbatical for several months.
Almost, it's been since last June.
Since last June, yeah. We
That
were
we
trying to
posted.
figure out what happened.
Well, a lot of stuff has happened.
A lot has happened, yes, yes. Many of you may or may not know that my beloved, beautiful, beautiful mother, so beautiful, oh my goodness, don't get me started. Anyways, she died due to COVID in August. And actually, my amazing, beautiful grandmother, who my mother took care of meticulously for years, that was her baby, died 48 hours before Mom. We think she died of a broken heart. I mean, the death certificate says COVID. And ultimately, COVID did have its way with her, but she died of a broken heart when she saw her little girl, my mother, being taken away by the ambulance, by the paramedics, and she was just distraught after that and pretty much died a few days after.
Yeah. So we spent quite a few months, obviously, leading up to Mommy's death. Obviously, that was, what we were involved in. And after she died, of course, there was a lot of grieving. But we sent out in December, a text to all of our patients, letting them know, what was going on in the practice and, just that we're still going, through COVID. We've still been seeing patients. Here's our staff if you need to get a hold of anybody. And then we talked about how Mommy had died. Because Mommy also worked for us.
Yes,
and so
since the beginning of the practice.
Yeah, she was actually our longest standing employee. And so a lot of patients knew her because she was the one that called them prior to procedures to confirm the appointment and to get their auths for their procedures. So she had pretty much touched every patient in the practice. And we're talking like tens of thousands of patients. So we wanted to make sure everyone knew that she had passed. But her name is the same as Liz's name, Dr. Cruz, Dr. Elizabeth Cruz. Her mother's name is Elizabeth Cruz. So even though we specifically wrote, my mother, Elizabeth Cruz, died, we had so many people calling, texting, like, oh my gosh, Dr. Cruz died. And we're like, no, not Dr. Cruz, her mom. Like, even now, we're still hearing patients talking like on Nextdoor, the app Nextdoor. Okay, so a lot of people post on Nextdoor, like, asking questions like, do you know of good this? Do you know of good that? Well, recently someone asked for a good gastroenterologist, and two people had chimed in and said, Dr. Liz Cruz. And somebody chimed in and said, oh no, she died. I'm like, oh my gosh, like people still think you died. I was like, babe, we got to do our next podcast. Our first podcast has to be that you're not dead.
That's right.
You're still alive.
That's right. I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still scoping butts and stomachs. So if you need a colonoscopy or an endoscopy and you're here in our area, I'm still here. I'm still here. And so, yes, thank God. We actually, though, Tina and I, we just had couples COVID. Well, I say that because Tina has talked to so many people just in the last month. We got it right at the end of Christmas. And so into January we had it. And Tina's talked to so many people that were like, oh yeah, my wife and I had it. Oh yeah, my husband and I had it. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like it was really a couple's illness here around the holidays. We do know a lot of people, like, seriously, who didn't COVID touch over the past couple months?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just hoping that the herd immunity sets in.
Yes,
You know,
that
that's
would
our
be
goal.
awesome.
But
That would be awesome. And
So we had these goals at the end of 2021 that we were going to start podcasting again, and then we got COVID, and that lasted for 2 or 3 weeks. And she actually didn't even scope for about a week and a half into January. So yeah, it's been like a long time coming for us getting back into podcasting again, but we have missed it so much. We've been coming up with topics left and right. We have a list of topics that we're so excited to share with everybody.
And I got to tell you, like, as I'm sitting here, and obviously I haven't shared this with Tina because I'm just feeling it right now. As I'm sitting here, I feel so much excitement inside of me that we're doing this again. Like, I forgot how good it feels to be podcasting and to be sharing information and our thoughts and our opinions with our community. Okay. And our community is anyone out there. And it feels good. It feels good. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I always love sharing our insight with people, and we've had a lot of downloads, which is actually really cool. So that's one thing I do want to say about podcasting is that even though we were off for the last 9 months because of everything going on in our life and the grieving and then being sick, like, the stuff is still out there. All the 300 plus podcasts that we've already done is still out there. And anybody who's just now engaging with us can go out there at any time and listen to those podcasts and benefit from those podcasts. We don't have to be doing it constantly for people to be benefiting from it. And that's what I love about it, is that those podcasts are never going to go away, and that they're there for anybody to listen to at any time. So
That's right.
We have continued to have downloads. I mean, it's definitely not as much that we had when we were doing them, but there's definitely downloads happening. So that's exciting. And then we've had some kind of exciting stuff happen.
We have.
In the last couple, 3 weeks we should share.
I do want to say one thing, which is kind of on the romantic side, because it is almost Valentine's in just a few days. And I am a true romantic at heart.
It's true.
I am. And so I just want to say that nothing gives me more honor and pleasure and excitement to be able to be doing this podcast with my partner and wife. So,
I agree.
So anyways, yes, we've had some really exciting stuff happen. We're going to talk about that. And then I do have some thoughts that I've been thinking about as I've been back to doing procedures and taking care of patients. But I'm going to let Tina tell you our exciting news.
No, so we had, we get emails all the time from people wanting to help us grow our business or do something for our business to help take it to the next level. And, usually for me, it's just, just marketing stuff and not something that we're really excited about. But right after the new year, I got an email from Shark Discoveries, which is the Shark Tank company, Kevin Harrington's company, and they had found our brand online and really liked what we were doing, and they wanted to know if we could talk, if we would be interested in working with them. So got on a call with them, and they said, look, we really like what you've done there. We like your products, and tell us a little bit more about what you're doing. And so we shared that with them and all the different resources that we've created over the years. And they were like, great, send us your products, send us all your materials, everything you have, and we'll see if it's a fit for us. So we sent them everything, and we had a call with them like 2-3 weeks ago. And basically they just loved it. They loved everything about it. They're like, look, you guys are pretty much locked and loaded to help take this thing to the next level. We want to make commercials for you. So we are going to do this deal with Shark Tank, with Shark Discoveries, and we posted it on Facebook. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But they're going to do a 30-second and a 60-second commercial for Dr. Cruz and our products and everything that we're doing. And then they're going to run that on cable networks. They're going to run it on demand TV. And they're going to run it on social media. So we're guaranteed so many views and all that kind of stuff. So
it's so exciting because even that business, these people, they deal with all sorts of different kinds of business, but they could see the vision. Okay, they could see what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying to help people. We're trying to help people feel better and have a better quality of life, And in case you've never heard Tina say this, she's been saying this since we started our wellness business over a decade ago. Our goal is to have a bottle of enzymes on every table
Around the world.
around the world. Okay, so this is so exciting to us because for us, this is like God opening up the way to promote us like around the world. We've been here, we're focused here in Phoenix, and our goal has been, with our patients and just locally, but
No, and we have expanded. Like, we've grown naturally throughout the years.
We
because
have.
A lot of patients of ours, they have friends and family that live all over the country. Some
all over
even
the world,
all
even
over the world.
Australia.
Yeah, like we do ship stuff to Australia. So
Yes.
like, and we've shipped stuff to Ireland before. But I think what's cool is that the business has grown on its own just because of word of mouth, right? Which is awesome. I mean, we ship stuff. We ship more now outside of Arizona than we do ship inside of Arizona, mainly because most people who live in Arizona come to our office to get stuff. But we do ship a lot of stuff outside of the state of Arizona, which is really cool. So we're just looking forward to expanding our reach, right? And who we can expose ourselves to help educate and teach people about good digestive health and what it takes and how simple it is.
That's right.
And yeah, let it go from there.
That's right. Very exciting. Yeah. So we're totally excited. And we're, as we get ready to start this new chapter in our lives. So things are going great at the practice. If you're one of our patients that sees us at the practice and you've been seen recently, great. If you haven't, things, God has been good to us and has blessed the practice. We are very grateful and feel blessed that we were able to keep our doors open, through the pandemic, and hopefully things are starting to calm down a little bit. But we just want to say that we wouldn't be here and have the practice. We wouldn't have what we have if it wasn't for you. And, those of you that have been on this journey with us, and those of you that are just getting on board, welcome on board. We are so grateful for you. We feel blessed to have all of you in our lives, and we thank you for being on this journey with us, because we're really excited, and we truly feel that we've been blessed on so many levels.
Amen.
So I did want to say one thing as I've been scoping, and it's funny because I feel like having COVID kind of changed some of my perspectives a little bit, and maybe it's just the mere fact that we're still alive, after all the hype of, and we've experienced it ourselves with my mom and grandma dying, you
lost two of the closest people.
Two of the closest people in my life. And so, to be alive and to come through this illness, I think just set some new perspectives. And I was doing procedures one day just in the last week or two. And, when I finish doing procedures and I go out to the recovery room and the patient is waking up, what the patient wants to hear is that everything is okay. A lot of times before the procedure, when I talk to them before we start, people are anxious and they're scared because they don't know what I'm going to find. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. And then at the end, what they want to hear is that everything is okay. They just want that reassurance that everything is all right. And I love being able to, for the most part, give patients that news. Every once in a while, the reality is that I have to tell somebody, I think I see something that looks worrisome for cancer. I don't like having that conversation, but unfortunately we have to have it I have to have it sometimes, but just telling them. And so people come in with all sorts of symptoms, and I was telling Maureen on this particular day, because she was telling me about a patient she'd had and how it was a difficult visit. There was a lot of stressful things going on in that patient's life, and she's like, I spent a good hour and 15 minutes, and I said, Maureen, in the end, what our patients need, first of all, they want to know everything is okay. And then they just need love. They need love. and that time from us. And a lot of them need also allergy testing. And I told Maureen that. I said, a lot of, they need to hear good news, which most of the time I can give them good news. We wait for the results of the biopsies, whatever. We wait for all that. They need love and they need allergy testing. And I'm serious about that. There are so many people that are seeing us now, so many of all ages, but even a lot of young people. And we are convinced, especially with the diet in America over the last decade, kids drinking energy drinks, drinking these fancy coffees that are loaded with chemicals and sugar, junk food. I mean, you name it, not drinking enough water. We are seeing so many things. And I'm convinced that people have developed sensitivities and allergies, to a lot of good foods because of the things that they're eating. So I just had to throw that out there because I had that thought just in the last week and a half when Maureen and I were talking, and I told her, I said, I'm convinced. Oh, there was one more thing I did add into her. I told her at the end of the day, when I'm done doing procedures and didn't find anything bad, but we're going to wait for the biopsies and they come back to the office, what they need is love. They need our supplements, they need probiotics and enzymes, and they need allergy testing. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we do the next podcast on the allergy testing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of different allergy tests out there, and we found one that works really well. So
yep. All right.
Talk more about that then.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are grateful to have you on this journey with us. We love you. We send you lots of hugs and please join us for our next podcast. Thank you.
And she's still alive.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.